long way round. They're 3 abreast. Danish cuts back to the inside, catches Ezawa by surprise. Ezawa has to stand it up and back out of it. Big moments as he tries to get back on the racing line. The 2 championship rivals touch. Veda Pratama comes over the line to win his home round in Indonesia. Race 1 goes to Veda Pratama. Second over the line to Carter Thompson. And the 2 championship rivals cross absolutely level. But it's Hakim Danish who's given it on the timing ahead of Shinya Ezawa. And that will mean, barring any post-race penalties, potentially for Carter Thompson, as things stand at the moment, we're looking at a 6-point margin between Hakim Danish and Shinya Ezawa coming.
A race winner though, Pratama, such an impressive performance. It was eventually an 8-second margin that he was able to tame this win by.
And that's why I was talking about a potential major swing between Danish and Ezawa, because if it had been the other way around and Ezawa moved up into 2nd position and Danish in 4th, we'd be talking about a different championship leader going into race 2 tomorrow. The Indonesian fans celebrating with Veda Pratama, your race winner, and a good opportunity for the Indonesian flag to be shown as well.
It's quite the makeshift Indonesian flag there, I think, from the marshals, but
it's a good effort.
It's a solid effort from them, and really impressive from Pratama. We saw him win earlier in the season in Buriram, and he's been able to notch up now 5 podiums as well this season, 2 wins and 3 other podiums, and that's very impressive for the youngest rider in the field. Means that a lot of team managers are going to be keeping an eye on him as well, and certainly you'd be excited to see what his prospects will be like if and when he gets to race in Europe and the ETC as well.
Really unfortunate for Veda Pratama that we didn't get to see him complete the weekend of the Indonesian Grand Prix earlier on this season, because that's a 4th podium in 5 races for him, and you would suggest that if he'd had the points from round number 2, at very least he'd be in the top 3 now, if not potentially still a championship contender.
Yeah, exactly, and it's been such a solid season, but a lot of the times in the ATC it's all well and good to win the championship, and that's obviously the target for everyone, but so many times it's the riders that are 2nd, 3rd, 4th in the standings that actually go on to have a big impact as well. And this is about the high points that you have during the course of the season. How many wins do you have? Your wheel-to-wheel, bar-to-bar battles, how many of them do you win? And that's what a lot of people take notice of, and Pratama's been able to pick up 2 wins as a 13-year-old, and with the increasing age limits as well, that means that he's going to be on Talent Cup bikes for the next couple of seasons, so that's where he then needs to keep building that forward.
Roswanto eventually coming home in 6th position. Gunmir getting through to the front of that secondary group ahead of Fetasan in 7th. But that's not enough for Gunmir to keep his championship hopes alive. He drops 40 points back now from Hakim Danish. Needed to beat Danish in that race, of course, and narrow the gap to less than 25. So at 40 points, Gunmir is now out of the running. He's got to defend 3rd overall tomorrow against today's race winner, Veda Pratama, who's now closed that gap to just 11 points between 3rd and 4th in the standings. Close from 5th position down as well. But in terms of that championship duel, pending official confirmation, as things stand, we will be looking at a 6-point margin in favour of Hakim Danish ahead of Shinya Ezawa.
Yeah, and you can see for Carter Thompson making his way into Park Ferme in 2nd spot, so we'll wait and get official confirmation, like you said, Alex, but maybe the decision will be that he lost ground coming out of turn 10 and then was able to recover from that, and he'll be able to hold on to that 2nd spot and those all-important 20 points for him. He's moved up to 5th in the championship standings. For Pratama as well, though, he's in a bit of a battle now for 3rd in the standings with Gunmir as well.
Yes, Gunmir on 127 points and Veda Pratama now on 116 after his race victory. The problem for Gunmir this season has been the lack of race wins. He's had plenty of podiums during his Asia Talent Cup spell, and no shortage of podiums in recent rounds either. 2 in Thailand and 1 in race 1 in Sepang, and this weekend he misses out in 5th position in race 1. He'll be back to have another go for those podium places tomorrow afternoon. That's a race that could easily have turned out very differently, just the way the field fractured in those early laps.
Yeah, and that can happen around a track like this where the slipstream isn't as important as in some of the other tracks that we visit with the ATC calendar, and it's all about maintaining that momentum. That's what we saw Pratama able to do. He was always able to keep edging out that bit of a lead. Once he was able to open up a half a second, it became a second, and then 2 seconds very quickly, and then from that point on it ended up being an 8-second margin at the flag.
Yes, case in point being Sepang with those nice long straights and hairpins. That works nicely for a big group in the Asia Talent Cup. But here in Indonesia, it's a tight and twisty circuit with some high-speed corner entries as well. Good that there's a variety of circuits for the riders to visit over the course of their season.
Yeah, exactly. At Sepang, you've got 2 1-kilometre long straights, and here it's 500 metres for the start-finish straight, basically. So it isn't about the slipstream battle, it's about your racecraft and being able to scrap with each other without costing yourself time. And the second group, they did cost themselves a lot of time in this race.
Oh, we're going to see the action in the closing stages, and this will be Carter Thompson running wide.
Whenever you've got Izawa making that double move and then everyone else having to shuffle for positions, it just did cost them quite a bit of time. But it's also about making sure that you're able to win those battles. Carter Thompson was able to come out on top in that scrap.
And Carter Thompson taking second position ahead of Hakim Denish. And Denish with that third place, able to extend his advantage, well, double his advantage from 3 points to 6. It's still a slender margin in Asia Talent Cup. We've seen it before. Big points can be won and lost in fairly straightforward fashion.
Yeah, exactly. And a 6-point advantage in the championship really is nothing, and you'd expect these guys to all be at the front in tomorrow's race, but Gunmi is going to be there as well, and a few other riders could well get themselves into the mix as well. Well,
a win for Shinya Ezawa does 5 of those 6 points, and then it's just about what happens behind him, so that will be the target obviously for race 2 tomorrow afternoon. Race where we got 18 riders over the line, so again full credit to all of these youngsters over the course of this weekend. There's not been too many incidents, as we mentioned previously during that race. Just that late incident for Putra and Swain, who were the only 2 retirements, 18 across the line. So race 1 comes to its conclusion, and we have an opportunity to take a look at the podium and in front of the spectators as well, with our paddock show in World SBK, as Hakim Denish will be back on the podium. It's going to be the 9th podium in the Asia Talent Cup for him. Carter Thompson taking second position. Thompson only podium number 3 as far as he is concerned, but 3 of them in the last 4 races, so he's coming on strong in the closing stages of the season.
Yeah, and it was the same in the ETC as well for him in Europe. In the final rounds of the year, he was able to get himself up into the top 10 and finish that season quite strongly as well. So for Carter Thompson, there's a lot to look forward to, more than just tomorrow's final.
In the field, as we've said, so for him to come on as strongly as he has in the second half of this Asia Talent Cup, with the second places in Thailand and Malaysia, the race wins in Thailand and now here in Indonesia, Veda Pratama very much proving himself.
Yeah, he's really shown himself to be a rider worth keeping an eye on, and certainly he will be a rider that next season in the ATC, I think everyone's going to be keeping one eye on.
So our podium trio, Hakim Denish is first up, then Carter Thompson into second. And Veda Pratama certainly looks very happy with life, and all of the celebrations with the Indonesian flags and so on will have certainly contributed to that.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be happy with himself with that second race victory this season?
Well, it looks as though the home fans, are going to be able to celebrate with your race winner, Veda Pratama, in just a couple of moments' time. Hakim Denish is the first rider to receive the trophy on the podium.
Yeah, Carter Thompson will get his second place trophy, and then Pratama, our race winner, in such impressive style as well. And Thompson on that good run of form, another podium for him and moving up into 5th in the championship standings. But you have to say, on a day like this, it's all about the home hero Pratama able to claim his second win of the Asia Talent Cup season.
And it is Veda Pratama who is your race winner. The trophy about to be presented to him. Second race victory in 2022. And as I said, only a year since he made his debut here in Indonesia. A home round for him and redemption after his qualifying crash in round 2 of the season. And the national anthem continues on, sung by the spectators here at the Mandalika International Circuit. An opportunity for the Indonesian fans to celebrate a home winner here.
Yeah, and always a special moment, and certainly for Pratama, it's a moment he's going to remember for a very long time. And like you said, Alex, coming here last year to make his ATC debut, and 1 year on, for all the success that he's had this season, up fourth in the championship standings, could well move himself up into the top three by the end of tomorrow. And certainly on the basis of what we saw from today, he wouldn't bet against it.
Key to that race really was those opening 3 or 4 laps where he was always at the front, and then when the others started to scrap, that's when he was able to bolt away.
Yeah, that's the secret to success in ATC. It's all about making sure you're able to maintain your momentum.
It is Veda Pratama then who wins in race 1 of the 2022 Indonesian round, the final round of the campaign. Second place going the way of Carter Thompson and Hakim Danish.